So this is an Easter egg that was actually left for me from the Hogwarts team. Um, it's everyone else will be just like, oh, cool. There's a leaky roof, regardless of whether or not there's rain outside. But it is a little Easter egg that the Hogwarts team left to me when they found out I was leaving.
No, and they're like crying because you're going.
Um, Partially, but the main thing was that one of the dungeons that I ended up coming up with, and we ended up doing the whole design for it. We ended up prototyping it. It was like my little pet project, and it was going to be in the Hogwarts dungeons, and there was going to be a part where the room would flood, and one of the sections that would lead you to this puzzle was that there was going to be a mop that was sweeping up all the water that was overflowing to keep it from going out into the rest of the castle. And this right here is Sad Mop.
This mop.
This mop right here was what it was initially going to be animating, cleaning up the puddle of water. And if you had solved the puzzle and you freeze the cauldron, it would make it to where the mop would happily get a break and he would just be leaned up in his bucket and he would be happy. But then if you thawed the cauldron and the Aquamantula started casting out again, or it was a case of you just never froze it in the first place, the mop would just continually, sadly, trying to clean up the puddle of just like Sisyphean task that it would just never finish. And I ended up getting like an animator and stuff when I told him the thing. He's like, "Oh, dude, I totally want to do this." So like we had animations for it. Weren't finished, which is why they aren't in here. But we ended up putting in so much work, and then it got cut at like the very last moment. And I was just really bummed about it. So when the Hogwarts team at the very end was doing the final rendering art pass, this was like my last 4 months or so that I was working. They ended up pulling me over at one point. They're like, "Hey, we added something for you," and they're like, "We added in Sad Mop," and it was just like a touching moment of the team and such, where I was just like, "Aww." So this was my one personal Easter egg in the game that wasn't really made as an Easter egg, but it had special significance for me while I was working on it.